Hi, good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. Apologies again for the quiz on Friday. I will get it sorted. I think I'll have the delay down to about 6 seconds now, so I can sort it. Don't worry, and we'll do a quiz on Friday again. Hopefully it'll work. If not, I'll find something else to do. So this week, I wanted to look at, well, still in this picture here, but I want to look more at Aristotle, which is the guy in the middle doing this, but not really him, because I wanted to look at Philippa Foot. Yeah, Philippa Foot said that you ask a philosopher a question, and after he or she has talked for a bit, you don't understand your question anymore. This is quite common for philosophers to have little digs at themselves about it, but Philippa Foot, by all measure, is an outstanding human being and a phenomenal philosopher who's given us quite a lot to think about, and that's what I want to do this week with you. So, Philippa Foot was born on 3rd of October 1920 in Otswin Ferry, England. Never heard of this place, but there's a map so you know how to find it if you want to go and find where she lives, but you can't because you're on quarantine. She's better known for the trolley problem. That most of her work was in ethics, and ethics are rules that help us decide what's right and what's wrong. She was in normative ethics and meta-ethics. So, meta-ethics explains what the word means. So when we say that's good or that's bad, what do these words mean? When we say good is green and red is red, sorry, bad is red, like why do we associate these sort of these words with these meanings? When teachers mark, why do teachers mark in red pen and not like blue or purple or green or something like that? So we have certain feelings associated with colours and words, and that's what she wanted to flesh out slightly. Once you've decided what good and bad actually is, then you have normative ethics. And normative ethics help us use these words to decide what rules, design rules actually, that we can follow. So we would sit down and decide, what does good mean? Does it mean happiness, or does it mean not having pain? And then we would decide from that, how do we then use this to decide rules to help us decide what's right and what's wrong? So if I said that happiness was where your belly was full, we would make a rule that something is good if the person reports they aren't feeling hungry. Then we would tick that and say that is a good action because the person's not hungry. Then we've got applied ethics, and applied ethics is where we use these rules to help us in our everyday lives. And that's what I really want to show today. Like we could go over the trolley problem again. It's one person of five persons five people. That most people are going to choose the one person, though 92% of respondents on this choose the one person. And even with the other 6%, it's not all choosing the five people. Most of them just let it continue because they don't want to get involved in the act themselves. Anyway, so that's what I want to show. Oh, and if you're feeling bored today, have a look at trolley problem memes. There's a really good Facebook group as well. The trolley problem memes pop up on my timeline at least once a week, and people have done fantastic work with it. That they are funny, but me funny, probably not you funny. Sorry. But they are good. From a geeky philosophy point of view, they're really, really, really good. Right. Is that me for that? Yep, so if I go back and I'll show you why I think this is important. So I just have to click that and we change. Right, so I remember this this is obviously January 22nd, 2020, so it's quite recent, but I remember this a couple of years ago. I remember I was speaking as a department about it because self-driving cars were becoming a thing, and Google were putting it forward and Tesla putting it forward, and this seemed really interesting to me. One, I'm a geek, so anything to do with that I'm going to love straight away, but also it's interesting because it raises serious moral problems that, for example, I'll go back to that image, it'll make sense. You're in a self-driving car and you're driving behind a lorry, and the lorry is full with logs, and then your self-driving car detects that logs are becoming loose from the lorry and they're about to fly towards your car, injuring or killing you and everyone inside the car. To the right of you is another car with two people in it, and to the left of you is a motorbike. Your car needs to swerve either left or right. How does it choose? Someone needs to program that car to swerve either left or right, or just go randomly. How do you choose? Do you kill the motorbike? Do you kill the car? How many people do we put in the car before we start changing how you think about it? and this is really interesting. But this is philosophy. This is pure philosophy, but being mixed with science and technology. That so how do we decide? And just so you believe that it's real, this has actually happened. So in 2003, a train was heading towards. A train was about to derail, and it had the choice between a heavily populated area and a lightly populated area, and it was able to direct the train onto tracks that wouldn't meet the speed of that train or something. I remember that. So it forced the train to derail, basically. It ploughed through houses and destroyed houses. No one was killed. I think a pregnant lady was injured. I'd have to read that story, but I remember this from years ago, and I think that a pregnant lady was injured. I don't think anyone was killed by it, but someone had to make a decision. So, and in the middle of the COVID-19 panic, that we're faced with the same thing. Is it one person or 5 people? So this is what I'd like you to do today. I would like you to have a look at this. This is MIT, so the Michigan Institute of Technology. That I'll put the link into the post. What they've decided, so what they've set up is a moral machine where basically we'll go into it, and who should the self-driving car hit? So on what we've got, also if you put description on, it will show both sides as well. Keep the description on, it's better for you, okay? So what we've got here is, do we kill 1 female executive, 2 male executives, or 2 homeless men and a normal man? Normal, probably shouldn't say normal, sorry. But have a go at this. This feeds into their research, and it lets them know how we value and don't value things. That it will give you a score at the end. So let me do this I won't do this from my point of view. Because I don't want to influence you. So I will do this now, and I'll post it tomorrow, and then we can look at results. But do yours, and it will tell you at the end which type of people you valued the most and which type of people you valued the less. You don't have to post it if you don't want to, but post it onto the thread. And this week we're going to have an interaction with this. Who lives and who dies? How do we decide who lives and who dies? And whether or not self-driving cars are a really good thing. I think we will end up talking about AI and how we move on to AI. Anyway, have a good day, and hope you stay safe. Bye-bye.